I'm going to show you 4 constructions in this video. Some of them I've gone over already, but I wanted to make a video with all of these 4 constructions in it. So one construction, I'm going to make the perpendicular bisector of the segment. This construction, I'm going to construct the perpendicular to line M that passes through point C, and this one I'm going to construct the perpendicular to line L through point P. Notice that point is on the line here, C is off the line there. And I'm also going to construct the circle that circumscribes the triangle ABC. So we're going to make a triangle that passes through the vertices of, we're going to make a circle that passes through the vertices of this triangle. So, we did this in class many times, so you guys should memorize it by now, but I just wanted to review it for you. The perpendicular bisector, you have to start on one of the endpoints of the segment and draw an arc that sweeps above and below and intersects the segment. Next, using the same radius, you're going to repeat the process but from the other endpoint. And you should have 2 intersecting arcs, connect the intersections, and you should get the perpendicular bisector. Ba-bam. Ooh, make that a little bit more careful. Whew, that was close. Didn't quite go through all the way on that first one. I was a little off. Okay, so I'm going to call this line N. So line N is perpendicular to AB, and I'm going to call this point M. AM is congruent to MB. So we have the line that passes through the midpoint of the segment AB. Next, we want to make the perpendicular that's going to pass through this. So we're going to do a similar construction that I just did with the perpendicular bisector, but first we need to define our segment so we can actually bisect something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a radius of any size from C, let's make that a little bit smaller, that will not only intersect, having difficulties here, not only intersect the line. Ooh, I'm just going to make the line bigger. That's going to be easier. Okay. So as you can see, I had to do that a few times. No worries. I'm just going to make this line a little bit longer. I'm going to erase all my other ones so I don't get confused. Okay, so now what I did was, since I made the radius of this circle C, okay, the radii of these are from the points that intersect this line M and go that way. I was able to extend this line because lines don't really have any length. The arrows just represent that they go on forever. So now I'm going to make the perpendicular bisector of this segment with these endpoints of the segment being the intersection of the circle and the line. So I'm going to go from one endpoint, a little bit more than halfway, arc above, below, and a little bit more than halfway, arc above and below. Now, if everything went great, then my 2 intersections should pass directly through point C, and it does. We're going to call this H. So we have line H is perpendicular to line M, and C is on line H, or line H contains point C. Okay? Now, these are 2 constructions we've done in class. This construction we have not done in class explicitly, but it's very similar to this construction. So I'm going to start it in a similar manner where I'm going to make a circle that has a center P and passes through line L. Oh my goodness. Wow, I'm having a lot of difficulties with this one. All I need to do is draw a circle. Okay. Now, that pretty much goes on there, so that's good. So from one endpoint, a little bit past the midpoint P. Then on the other side, the other endpoint, a little bit past the midpoint P. Now, intersecting P. I'll call this line T. So line T is perpendicular to line L and passes through P, or line T contains P. Oops, sorry, I didn't realize that was on there. So we have the circle, we have the perpendicular bisector of this new segment here that passes through P, and it's on this line that is perpendicular to line L. Finally, we're going to use the perpendicular bisector and bisect this side, and this side. So again, we're going to go a little bit more than halfway from both endpoints and make the perpendicular bisector. And we're going to do it again to this side. A little bit more than halfway from both endpoints. Hold on. I need to make that arc a little bit longer. Okay. Now notice that when I made those perpendicular bisectors, they intersected at one point. That is called the circumcenter. I'm going to call that point P. So P is the circumcenter. The point of concurrency of the perpendicular bisectors. Now, place your compass on that point P, the circumcenter, and draw a circle that has a radius of any one of the, oh dear me, looks like mine wasn't really that perfect. Now, if everything turned out fine, then you should have the points of the vertices on the circle. I'm really close there. Probably if I went through this construction one more time, I would have gotten it a little bit more perfect. But to tell you guys the truth, what I'm going to be looking for is all of these lines. Can I see that you made the perpendicular bisectors? Can I see that they intersect at one point? And can I see that you tried to make the circle from that, in that point of concurrency, to one of the vertices, and then made the circle all the way around?